Hi, I'm James from Games Radar, and I am joined by Joe.
Hello.
And we are still in the Xbox arena.
We are.
Having just seen Quantum Break.
Yes, another Xbox stalwart.
Yeah, a hands-off preview, but we got to see some new things that weren't at the showcase.
Yeah, so we got sort of an extended look at how the stuff in the teaser trailers from Tuesday's briefing kind of work in reality.
Yeah, which, like, I mean, it was Friday, but it really confused my brain. Like,
you're fully out of it now.
I couldn't quite work out, like, so let's explain what happens. So
Yep.
you get to see the scene, essentially, played out in two different ways.
Yeah, so I mean, for those who don't know, Quantum Break is part game, classic Remedy time-mashing shooter, and half TV show with proper real people you've seen in things like Game of Thrones and X-Men's. And the interesting thing is how it appears to be weaving those two things together. So there are, as Sam Lake calls them, junction points,
Yes.
which are moments in the live-action show where you get to choose how the show plays out. So they've filmed alternate scenes, and it's sort of like a choose your own adventure but for a live action TV show, which is kind of interesting. More interesting is the points in the TV show that you then play in the game and see them from Jack Joyce, the main character's point of view. So one of the moments we saw was two characters having like a standoff, and suddenly they looked down and both their guns were gone. And then in the game you see Jack Joyce wake up, see these two people having a fight, stop time, walk in, steal their guns and walk away like some sort of chronological badass. So it's sort of, it's hard to wrap your head. It's essentially like the game is playing with its own time travel for you, which is kind of weird.
It's quite confusing. But so you basically get the TV show and the game as one package if you buy Quantum Break. So they didn't quite go into how that's going to work. Like,
they couldn't. They said basically the technical stuff wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the TV show lives in the cloud, and because what happens is you get to the end of your the chapter in the game, and then you get a TV show episode which is about 22 minutes. You get to watch that, and then you play the next section of the game. Yeah,
I don't know how big Blu-rays are. Maybe they could fit like several episodes of a TV show. It's like 20-minute episobe.
Yeah, I mean that's long.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of, and a game.
Maybe it's like 480p. It's just really low-res TV show. That'd be right.
I think for the amount of money they spent on it, they'd want it to be at least 720.
Perhaps, yeah. They said they've been filming or doing everything for the game and the TV show for like a year and a half, which is crazy. Yeah. We also learned, which I hadn't heard about before, that the old Jack Joyce that we saw at the last year's one was always meant as a stand-in. It's not like some guy who was there and then they were like, not really famous enough, mate. He's actually a supporting character in the show as it is now, so that's quite interesting. Like, I hadn't heard anything about that beforehand.
So some little bits about the game then. They said that the game is finished. It's playable from start to finish.
Yeah.
6 months left to work on it, but you could go all the way through it now.
And just have some bugs.
Yeah. To experience it. And it all revolves around the time powers. Now, he's got quite a lot of time powers.
Yeah, he had 5 in the demo we saw. So, I mean, we've seen most of them in footage up till now. There's sort of a one that makes time explode, which I don't fully understand. There's a sort of shield where bullets just can't travel through it because you're in a different time period to them. They're all time something. There's time dash, time dodge, and both of those feed into melee moves you can use against people. Actually, more like something I hadn't seen before now, I don't think, is the fact that those stutters, which are the moments at which kind of basically huge action set pieces just turn into sort of endlessly playing loops. So in this case it was a ship falling over and all its pieces like breaking off and falling around you. Those are kind of like puzzle platforming moments almost. You're essentially, so there's a point where sort of the ship's falling and then you see the loop reverse and the ship comes back up and then you have to dash underneath it before it falls down again, which is quite interesting. You're like playing within a set piece. So there's something a little more than just a shooting game in there that I hadn't realised would be kind of extant. So yeah.
But overall, quite a lot to take in. But it's looking quite interesting.
It is indeed. It's one of the more curious prospects on Xbox One, and I don't know if. Well, we got a release date in there, which was April 5th next year. I can't remember if they announced that, so maybe that's news.
Well, there you go. Brand new news from Gamescom.
Absolutely.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe down below and check out gamesradar.com for all of our hands-on previews from the show.
Bye.